Welcome to the Everbright Companion Series. In this series of videos, we're going to walk you through building a lead, designing a system, pricing that system, creating a contract for that system, and then converting that project in Lightspeed. As our partnership with Everbright grows, we will make adjustments to this video series as things change within our portals. But for now, we're going to walk you through every step of creating that lead. So let's go ahead and get started. In the next video, we will walk you through the lead generation process in Everbright's portal. Thank you for watching. In the previous video, we gave you an introduction to Everbright and what we're going to be working on in this process for this companion series. In this video, we're going to walk you through creating a lead in Everbright's portal. Now that I'm logged into Everbright's portal, I can click the new lead button on the upper right hand side, and that will open up the search map for the property's address. I'm going to copy an address into the map screen for this project. We're going to be working on a project in Ohio. We have the pin location for the project. And if everything looks good and the pin is in the proper location, we will click the button on the bottom right to the contact information. Here you will put in the homeowner's first name, last name, email address, and phone number. Once you put in the first name, last name, email address, and phone number, you can save that contact. If there are going to be additional contacts, you can create a new contact here. I've set this one as the primary. So now, in the next video, we will go over usage. This is the lead creation video for the Everbright Companion Series. Thanks for watching. We discussed how to create the contact information and generate a new lead in Everbright's portal. In this video, we're going to walk you through how to input the usage for a project. So let's get started. After inputting the homeowner's contact information and moving on to the next screen, we are greeted with the usage page. Now, depending on the location of your project, it will detect the regional utilities for that area. Make sure that you're checking the Sales Resource Center in Lightspeed in our active utilities to know if you're working within a utility that is currently approved to work with Everbright. So in this example, we're using Columbus Southern Power, which is part of AEP Ohio, which is one of the approved utilities. Any other utilities would show up on this dropdown, and we have the residential rate schedule. So you can see here, there's a standard historical average usage profile that's provided by Everbright using Genability. With Genability, you'll get a historical average of the regional power for that area and neighborhood, but this is not the usage profile for that homeowner. So you can edit usage here and go month by month and put in the homeowner's kilowatt hour usage in these boxes. Once you make changes, you'll be able to apply those changes. And again, if you only have a few months of usage, put the data in that you do have and allow the Genability tool to give you the historical averages based on the months that you have currently. If you have all 12 months, by all means, put all 12 months of usage in, but put the usage information that you do have, if they've only been in the home for a couple of months, in order to get an accurate profile for that homeowner's usage. Now, the current residential rate plan is also based on Genability's tools. It is up to the sales rep to determine if that current utility rate is accurate. In the event that the utility rate is not accurate, for instance, in this situation, we're going to give a hypothetical that the residential rate for this project is 15 cents. If I go to a custom rate plan for Columbus Power, once I've worked out the accurate cost per kilowatt hour, I can put that rate into the custom rate section here. Now, just as a reminder, make sure that the information that you put in for the custom rate is accurate and that you're doing the math correctly to determine the homeowner's true cost per kilowatt. These are audited by Everbright, and if the numbers don't match and the custom rate does not match what the homeowner is actually paying with the bill that you upload, it will get kicked back. Thanks for watching the utility information video for Everbright. In the next video, we'll discuss building your project. In this video, we're going to go over Everbright's design system where you can mount roofing planes, add setbacks to your project, and adjust the usage profile. At the project page, once we are over our project, you'll see on the right-hand side the yearly solar access that's provided through the project sunroof. What we're going to do first is scroll into the project, and you'll see that array number 1 has not been completed yet. So we're going to draw an array on the property by clicking on each corner of the roof plane and creating an array for that project. Once that array has been created, you will see the module and the inverter. Here, you can switch between a central inverter like Solar Edge or a micro inverter like Enphase here. And you can change the module here for the modules that are currently available for Everbright projects. Now that we've completed that roof plane, we want to have our keep outs selected for the property. So on this array, I'll select keep outs, and let's take note of every obstruction that's on this roof so that panels are not placed there. Once I've established all of my keep outs, I click update. To calculate my offset, I'll click the calculate button. Now, how do you add a second array to this project? We'll do that by scrolling up to the top and pressing the plus array button. Before I do that, I do want to take note that making changes here to the modules or the inverter, if you do that on the first array, it will cascade down to the extra arrays that you build for the project. So if you are going to change equipment, make sure that you do it on the first array for that project. I'll press the plus array button, and I will draw this second roof plane and connect these 4 dots. Now that that's complete, I can click calculate. So right now we have a 9.24 kilowatt system with the generation versus the annual usage, and we're at an 81% offset. So I want to bring attention to the yearly solar access here again. When you open up the project sunroof, if you don't believe that data is correct, you can open up Aurora, create a lead in Lightspeed, and then generate a shading report from Aurora that you can use in this project. So in order to do that, I'll demonstrate that now. You need to navigate back over to Lightspeed and create the lead in Lightspeed's leads portal. Once you've created the lead in the leads portal, you'll click edit proposal and open up Aurora. So now that I'm in Aurora, I've gone over to the system design page and run the roof AI. To get the shading report from Aurora, click on the toggle at the resource center at the top of the page and click live chat. I'm going to ask for a shade report for this project and start the chat. Once you get Aurora live support, they will either ask you for the project link or the property address. For this example, I'm giving them the property address. After a few moments, they'll return with the shade report. You can click on that link and it will open up in a new tab. Now that I have a shade report for both arrays, I can take this back to Everbright and input the new numbers into my proposal, which I'll show you now. Now that we have the Aurora shading report, we need to add that to the project. So in order to do that, on the left-hand side, we will click Auto Detect on array number 1. Now I want to take the Aurora shading report that I was given from Aurora and take that data and apply it to this array. So I have the Aurora shade report here, and I can see that for array number 1, which is the array here, the annual production for that array is 83%. So back at Everbright, I've unchecked the box for Auto Detect, and I will change this to 83. I'll click calculate to update that array. And I will apply the same information to array number 2. So I will turn off auto detect for array number 2, return to my Aurora shading report and see that array number 2 has 79%. So back at Aurora, I'll change this to 79% and calculate. I'm taking accurate shading report from Aurora so that I can create a proposal that has accurate generation for this project. So right now we're at 71% offset, and I'm going to add an additional array for this project. Okay, so I've reached the point where I'm as close as I can get for offset for that property for the max fit. And now I can move on to my quote phase. I have a system size, I have a generation based on annual usage. In the next video, we'll talk to you about how to create a quote for that project and move it to the next steps. Thanks for watching. Creating your project in Everbright, adding modules, changing inverters and storage, and how to create setbacks on the roof for your project. In this video, we're going to show you how to create a quote in Everbright so that you can then turn that quote into a proposal. So, working under the assumption that your current customer is satisfied with the design of the system, we are going to choose a financing product for this. For this example, we're going to use the Everbright EverFixed option. If you want to learn more about the different product offerings state by state, make sure you visit the Sales Resource Center in the Finance and Payment Options folder. You'll find all the details on Everbright in the Everbright folder within the Finance and Payment Options. So let's say we're doing the contract term for 25 years and a rate escalator for 1.9%. Here's where you would set the price per kilowatt. Now, in the previous videos, we talked about the current rate for this homeowner being 15 cents. Let's say we're going to create this proposal at 13 cents a kilowatt hour. Click Create Quote. And after the quote is created, you'll see the product, the term, the install cost, and the price per watt, as well as the homeowner's monthly payment. You can create multiple quotes at multiple price points and add those quotes to your quote screen. So you can see the solar rate we chose, the total savings, the monthly payment, and the PPW for that project before adders are removed from that project. So if we are satisfied with this quote and we want to move forward, we need to turn this quote into a proposal. So we'll go down to the Proposal tab and click Add Quote. We're going to choose the Everbright EverFixed quote that we just created. And once you've chosen that quote, you can now change the template for the design of that quote, but we're going to go ahead and click Generate. This will open up a separate window and generate that quote for you with a live chat option. And then we can scroll down and go through the different sales slides and go over the project details for this project with the homeowner. So that is how you create a quote in Everbright and how you turn that quote into a proposal. In the next video, we'll talk about credit and sending a contract. Thanks for watching. Just creating a quote and turning that quote into a proposal. In this video, we're going to talk about the qualification process for credit and converting a past credit check into a contract. After a proposal's been presented to the homeowner and they're ready to move forward, return to Everbright's portal and click the next step to move to the qualification page. Here's where you'll run a soft credit check for the homeowner. Prior to running any credit application, make sure that the homeowner's name matches the homeowner name on title. When you are ready to run the credit check, you move up to the top of the screen where it says Actions and click Run Pre-Qualification. This can be done via email or in person. When you submit the soft credit check, it is a cascading credit check system that starts at Equifax and works its way down the 3 credit bureaus. A score of 650 or higher is required, but more often than not, according to Everbright, scores of 700 and above or more generally approved. 650 to 699 may have stipulations or look at additional details about payment history. After the credit check is approved, on the bottom right, you can move to the contract phase. For this example, we're going to show you that we're adding the quote that we created on the previous screen. After you've added the quote to the contract page, you can send the e-signature at the top to the homeowner to sign those documents digitally. After they've signed their PPA agreement, the installation agreement, and have completed the welcome call, you are now ready to return to Lightspeed to submit this project using the project generator, which we will cover in the next video. Thanks for watching. In this final video for the Everbright 101 series, we're going to walk you through using the project generator to submit your Everbright project in Lightspeed. So in the previous video, we covered creating the contract and getting the e-signature signed. Now it's time to wrap this process up and generate the project in Lightspeed. To do that, we move over to the sidebar in Lightspeed and click Generate Project. For the popular choice for payment options, we're going to choose Everbright and click Next. From here on out, we are going to repopulate much of the information that is in the proposal that we generated in Everbright. So I'm going to return to Everbright and copy the homeowner's address and move on to the next screen. For this proposal, it was Columbus Southern Power, part of AEP Ohio. So we're going to choose that utility and move to the next screen. We will populate the homeowner's information here, set the preferred language and contact method, and move to the next screen. For utility bill holder information, if it is the contract holder, we're going to choose them as the option. If it is someone else in the house, we'll put their name as it reads on the bill, their phone number, and their email address so that the interconnection agreement is sent to the right location. Here's where you'll put in any locked gate or homeowners association details. Choose the smart home option if you're going with one of the smart home options for the homeowner. For system details, we're going to choose the panel and quantity. So I'll return to my proposal and scroll down to our proposal, and we are using 26 Jinko 380s. This will give us an accurate system size and go over our 1 year first year production. So I'm going to copy this 10974 into the project generator. This is a roof mounted system. If we were adding batteries to the project, here is where we would add them to the project in Lightspeed. If there were any upgrades or they chose the Enphase system, we could check those boxes here. Now we have a system details summary, and we can move on to the next screen where we wrap up and choose our lead source. So this was a dealer-generated, self-generated lead. We're going to leave this as matching the sold production. And then we do want to make note that in this box, here is where you can provide any additional homeowner notes and details. There's never too much information to put in this box. So the more detail you can provide here, the better. If everything's all set to go, we'll click Let's Go. It will now take us to our document generator where any DocuSign documents that need to be generated will be sent to the homeowner. Here's the option to upload the homeowner's insurance and the utility bill and any other files associated with that project. After you've uploaded all the necessary documents, you can click Create Project and Send Documents, and that will trigger Lightspeed to create that project. From here, the homeowner will sign the project and you will submit this like you would any other project in Lightspeed. Thank you for watching Everbright 101. Please direct any questions you have about this process to producteducation@freedomforever.com. And again, thank you for watching.